wanted to actually talk a little bit more about the state of Virginia. Take a look at that state's economy. Unemployment there holding at about 7%. So on the surface, the state looks better than the national average. Is that the case? Let's find out and bring in Professor Edwin Burton, economics professor at the University of Virginia. I should also point out he worked extensively on the state's finances and currently serves as a trustee for the Commonwealth's retirement system. Professor Burton, thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So tell me what the unemployment picture really is in that state. I understand it's hovering around 7%, but then if you look at some of the counties that are right along the border with North Carolina, it's significantly higher than that.
That's right. We have a much lower unemployment rate in the aggregate than the nation as a whole, and we always have. If you go back to the height of the tech boom in early 2000, unemployment in Virginia was a little bit over 2%, if you can imagine that. And it stayed under 5% throughout most of this decade until the spring of 2008. So we've tended to have low aggregate unemployment rates. But if you look within the state, unemployment varies from slightly under 5%, where the president is today. That's the unemployment rate you have in Arlington and the County of Arlington, County of Fairfax, County of Loudoun, Alexandria, City of Alexandria. Unemployment's under 5% there. That's driven by federal hiring. But if you go down to the southern part of the state, where the furniture industry, for example, has collapsed, you have cities like Martinsville. Unemployment there is still above 20%. You have Henry County, unemployment is above 15% in Henry County. Some parts of the state over the last year have added jobs, most notably Harrisonburg, the home of James Madison University, and Roanoke. And then other parts of the state have lost jobs, and mostly in the central part of and southern part of the state. Northern Virginia is doing great, unemployment under 5%. Southern Virginia is struggling.
Got it. So up above 20%, as you mentioned, in that one county. So I would imagine, as the polls are indicating for so much of the country as we're approaching midterm elections, the economy is issue number one.
Absolutely, and we have here in the district we're in, the 5th district, is Congressman Perriello, who was elected in the Obama wave. First time a Democrat's held that seat in some years. Now has a serious challenger, Senator Hurt from Roanoke. They're both excellent candidates. Hurt seems to be well ahead in the polls, and Perriello is fighting for his life down here. When he ran 2 years ago, Martinsville had about 23% unemployment. It hasn't improved much, and that's hurting Perriello. You have another challenge down in the fighting 9th district, where Rick Boucher is struggling against Morgan Griffiths. Rick Boucher still shows ahead in the polls down there, but that district's got high unemployment as well, and that's not boding well for the Democrats in those districts. The other district that's pretty close is Democrat Nye is struggling to hold on to that seat.
So when you're looking at the area where President Obama is today in Fairfax, a lovely backyard in that residential community, what do you think of the location that was chosen?
Well, he's in the right place because unemployment is much lower where he is than in the rest of the state. So there's no question he's doing well. Unemployment gets down to 7% in central Virginia, hits 8% on the eastern western shores, or western side of the state and the eastern shore, and it gets down well above 10% when you get to southern Virginia.
Professor Edwin Burton, University of Virginia professor of economics, thanks for taking a break from your day planning your lessons and researching. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Enjoyed being on.
Great.